So Monica Gordon here, founder of JA English Coach Community, which is of course a community where you could improve your English, whether it's independently or with a teacher, right? It provides courses, whether video courses or just, slides that are available and you could look through. So I'll link them below. Feel free to check it out. So today we are going to be looking at some idioms that are related to communication, how we talk with others, right? So I know this will be helpful to you. So of course, feel free to comment below by practicing, these idioms and things like that, just to help you to improve. Now, of course, if this is something that interests you, then you definitely want to stick around. All right, so before we get started, guys, you know the drill, right? You want to like, subscribe, share with all your friends that you know are working on improving their English. So let's get started. So the first one is to get one's wires crossed. Ever heard that before? We're not talking about literal wires. What this means is just there being a misunderstanding in communication between people. So maybe one person thought you meant this while you actually meant something else. So a perfect example could be, oh, we must have gotten our wires crossed. I thought you said we would meet at 8 a.m., not 8 p.m. See? Simple misunderstanding. So have you ever gotten your wires crossed before with someone? Let me know. The next popular one is to beat around the bush. I think you've heard this one before. So to beat around the bush just means that you are trying to avoid talking about something. So for example, I could say, oh, Jill just gives you the straight truth. She doesn't beat around the bush. What that means is Jill just tells you as it is, right? Now let's get down to business. Now get down to business. What this means is that you are now going to talk about whatever it is that you need to discuss. Most times you hear this used, for example, at the start of a meeting, right? They might say, okay, so let's get down to business, which means let's get into the serious part of this meeting. What do we need to do now? What do we need to talk about? All right, so that's how you could use let's get down to business. Another one is word of mouth. Now this is where something it gets out or it gets around based on having conversations with different people. For example, I could say most of my students have been through word of mouth, which means I may have had one good student that told a friend, who told another friend, who told another friend, and that is word of mouth. So it just keeps spreading, which is good. Word of mouth is very good. To bite one's tongue. No, not to literally bite your tongue. But to bite one's tongue means to stop yourself or hold yourself from saying something that could possibly get you in trouble, right? For example, I could say, my sister gets me so mad sometimes. I really have to bite my tongue before I get in trouble. Or I really have to bite my tongue so I don't offend her, right? So you could use it that way. Is there a time that you had to bite your tongue? Maybe in a meeting? It happens often, right? Now another popular one would be to be on one's mind, right? So what this means is just that you might be thinking about a specific thing or that thing. For example, I could say, I really need to call my brother. He's been on my mind all day. This just means that I have been thinking about my brother all day. Maybe I need to give him a call. Good. Now Now, the next one, guys, is to stretch the truth. Now, please don't do this, but this happens a lot. People stretch the truth. Hey, that could be a tongue twister. Try saying it 5 times. Stretch the truth, stretch the truth. But yes, so to stress the truth means that you make something sound way better, more than it actually is, right? So you exaggerate and you talk about something, but it's really not that good. It's kind of like, it's similar to saying that you sugarcoat something. It's when you make it sound better than it really is. All right? So don't go stretching the truth. So for example, I could say, oh, I cannot stand talking to Tim sometimes because I feel like Tim is always stretching the truth, which means he's always making things sound better than they really are. All right? So another popular one would be to pull one's leg or to pull your leg. What this really means is to make or have someone believe or think that something that you said was actually true when it's not. So a very good example could be, let's say you're at work and someone says you have to get to lunch within the next hour or you might lose your job. Then you get there the hour earlier and the person is like, oh, John was just pulling your leg, which means, oh, he was just saying that it's not true, but you believed it because you went there 1 hour earlier. So he was just pulling your leg. So it's something that you could use when you're like kidding with someone, right? So, oh, just kidding. You could say, oh, just pulling your leg. So it's kind of the same meaning there. All right? Can you just get to the point already? All right, so to get to the point is another very common idiom that you will hear. To get to the point just means that you want to get to the main purpose or the main reason for this conversation, right? So I could say something like, oh, John could talk for hours. I wish he would just get to the point, right? Which means instead of beating around the bush for the 1 hour, he could have maybe covered a topic in 10 minutes, which would be the point of that entire meeting. So we say, just get to the point, will you? Yeah, I actually really love using this, and it tends to be very popular, especially like with friends and family. I use it a lot with my sister. I will say, just get to the point, like just get there. Or another way I might say it is just, what's your point? Which means she might say something and I don't see where it makes sense or whichever. So I might just say, so what's your point? I don't get it. When really and truly, that's sometimes just me being sarcastic, right? So different ways to use this, but it's a very popular one. All right, guys. So for the last one, I'm going to give you a little bonus because they mean the same thing. So you could say in the loop or to keep someone posted. Now, all this means is for you to be kept updated and informed about something, related to a certain or to a specific topic, right? So, for example, I could say, I will continue to keep you guys posted each month when I do those online free live lessons on YouTube. You could check them out. Or I could say, I will always keep my community in the loop as I make any changes or anything related to, improving their English. So that's a great way to use it. All right, so I gave you 11 idioms related to communication, even though I said 10. And guess what? I have so many more, but I didn't want this video to be too long, so I'll give you in parts. But I really do hope that this was really helpful. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and follow me on all socials, which is at JA English Coach. So that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Clubhouse, like it's everywhere. All right, so bye.